And we welcome you to the Alderson's Awards West postgame show. For trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. I'm Tyler Hergert. Joined alongside me is Kerry Clark and Keith Clark. And we just witnessed a game that surely we won't forget for a long, long time, and we're guessing everyone at home as well. The Lincoln Abes, they win 38-32 over Mount Tahoma on the road in double overtime. And it is extremely hard to encapsulate everything that we just saw, Keith, but I'll give you the honors. What in the world just happened out there?
I was literally just thinking that, kind of ironic that Lincoln ended up not having to do a PAT to win the game. So, because that was really a problem for them all night, and just kind of ironic they're in double overtime to where they just needed to score the touchdown. Like we said, any points in that double overtime, and they win. So just a great game. I mean, just a classic high school football game. I mean, you just don't get any better, two very well-matched teams. Obviously, 38-32, double overtime. Doesn't get any better.
It's one of those games where you get done and you take a couple of moments to recognize neither team deserves to lose this game. And it's unfortunate that someone has to put this one in the loss column with how great both of these two teams played throughout the ball game. I mean, you think about Mount Tahoma coming back. They were down 12-0 at one point in this game. They rattle off 20 of 28 points. They end up taking the lead, and then for Lincoln to go down and score with 38 seconds left. They go 47 yards to tie up the ball game, and all the twists and turns. We'll recap all the scoring here in just 1 second, but just a phenomenal game between these two sides, and the competition was through the roof, and it's unfortunate one of these two teams puts this one in the loss column.
Right. I mean, now, unfortunately, like you said, Tahoma fighting an uphill battle in league, and Abe's feeling pretty good about themselves in league play, so it could have gone either way. So I always say, that's why they play the games. That's why they play the games and get out here and get it done, and unfortunately, someone's got to lose.
Well, Coach Matsumoto said it down on the field. This is it's a new season when you get to league play, and that was something he preached to his team. This is a new season. The season kind of resets. You went through non-league play, played some very competitive teams, and they've utilized some of those experiences, especially here tonight, to pick up the victory. As let's go over all of the scoring we had tonight. First, it was Sione Cajo finding Eli Malafu on the first drive of the game. It was a 16-play drive and a 16-yard touchdown capping off the drive for Lincoln. 6-0 lead. That extra point ended up being blocked. Then the Abes later on in the second quarter, they were able to score on a 47-yard pass from Cajo to Taplasi. That made it a 12-point game because the 2-point conversion was not good. And then after that, remember, there was a penalty called on Lincoln. Backed them up 15 yards. They kick it off to Mount Tahoma. They get the ball at the 28-yard line after all of that, and that's where they set up shop, and it was Micah Cordero running it in with no time left. Final play of the first half. He was able to score. They get the extra point. 12-7 was our halftime score, and then Mount Tahoma, they drive down and score. Once again, Micah Cordero with the pass. This time, he was able to find his target. Looks like that was Angel Urban. Yeah, he made the diving catch in the end zone, and they were able to get that lead back. They did miss the extra point there, so it was only a 13-12 lead. Then Lincoln ends up going on the longest drive of the night. They go 18 plays. It caps off with a Jadion Scranton 1-yard touchdown run, and he got the 2-point conversion on that. That gave Lincoln the 20-13 lead. Mount Tahoma comes back, and they end up scoring. It was Micah Cordero finding Elijah Durr for a 19-yard strike, tying things up at 20. And then the little pooch kick that gets recovered by Anthony Quintanilla Jr. He's able to get it at the 38-yard line. Mount Tahoma drives down, and it was Micah Cordero again running it in with 44 seconds left from a yard out. Gave Mount Tahoma the lead, but they missed the extra point, wide right, 26-20 at that point. The Abes get the ball at the 47-yard line after a pretty good return from, I believe that was Emmanuel Jordan, and he almost broke free too. There was a tackle made by one of the Mount Tahoma players. Can't remember off the top of my head who made that tackle right at the 47-yard line, but Lincoln goes down the field. They're able to score with just 1 second left, as that was Sione Cajo to Casey Williams, a 4-yard touchdown. Then the Abe's got the ball to start overtime, a 13-yard touchdown. Cajo to Casey Williams, 2-point conversion, no good. And Mount Tahoma, they come back. They're able to score, as it was Keyshawn Hines from 3 yards out, punched it in after a penalty, backed up Mount Tahoma 5 yards. Extra point is blocked. And it's in the double overtime, Ramon Jones Jr. comes up with the interception on 4th down, stopping the Mount Tahoma drive, and Lincoln goes down the field in 8 plays. They're able to get all 25 yards and cap it off with a Jadion Scranton 1-yard touchdown run, his 2nd of the night, his 5th in the last 2 games. And that is how the Lincoln A's end up winning this one, and that is how we make our way to handing out our EliSportsNetwork.com Game MVP, our free sports website with coverage of all games we broadcast and a lot more. Check it all out over at EliSportsNetwork.com. So we're going to give our Game MVP to Sione Cajo, the sophomore quarterback for Lincoln.
That's for sure.
Had his hand in 4 touchdowns, was all over the place, managed that last drive in regulation to perfection. And it did everything right, did not get wavered at some of the weirdness of the spikes and everything. He did it perfectly, and he was able to get the touchdown in regulation, got the touchdown in overtime as well, a couple of them earlier in the ball game. He was superb, and no turnovers either. That's another thing.
Yeah,
that was the overriding factor, at least for myself, that he was able to do that. But Jadion Scranton, the game-winning touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run, had a great game. Kanoa Taplasi was big in not just the secondary, but also offensively. Casey Williams with those 2 touchdowns. And how about Eli Malafu and Ramon Jones? And then you look on the defensive side, how about Dracio Fatawi, the defensive line for the A's? Dominique Irvin was all over the place for Lincoln. And we haven't even mentioned any of the Mount Tahoma players yet as well, like Micah Cordero, Keyshawn Hines, Britton Bailey, Elijah Durr, Angel Urban, Anthony Quintanilla Jr., among many, many, many others, had a hand in this game. Anybody else that you want to shout out, Keith?
I mean, just Hines, number 22 for Mount Tahoma, is one of my new favorite running backs. Really love the way he runs his style. I mean, that's my style, and he was fun to watch. And just like you said earlier, you couldn't have said any better. It's just too bad that one of these teams had to lose, because what a battle we watched.
A phenomenal game, a game that none of us will forget for a long, long time. Thank you for joining us. What a blast it was to call this one between Mount Tahoma and Lincoln. The Abes of Lincoln, they win 38-32 in double overtime. They improved to 3-2 on the year. They're 2-0 in league play. They'll take on Silas at home next week. And Mount Tahoma, they're going to drop to 1-4 on the year. They're 0-2 in league play. They're going to go to Bellarmine next week before wrapping up their season with a pair of home games. As we're getting into the second half of the season, and there should be plenty more games that are maybe not as exciting as this one, but they'll come close to being exciting. What a ball game it was. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up, Keith?
No, you said it perfectly. I mean, it was just a fun game to watch, and like I said, being my first time with both these teams, I wasn't really sure what to expect. And what a game to break me in on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsors who helped make this possible. The best way to thank those sponsors is to patronize those businesses. If you're unable to do so, just swing on by and say thank you for sponsoring high school athletics on the Eli Sports Network. For Keith Clark, for Kerry Clark, I'm Tyler Hergert, signing off for the night. The Lincoln Abes win an instant classic, 38-32 in double overtime. We hope you have a great and safe evening, and we'll see you next time on the Eli Sports Network.